Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 7. So in the last episode, we went through and finished the second half of the Tinker's Construct questline, which ended up getting us this smeltery, this forgery, whatever it's called, this alloyer, and we were able to complete the All the Modium questline too, getting all of these alloys which I'll eventually need for the Creative Star. In today's episode, what I want to do is fix a problem that I've kind of been having for a long time now, which is my food problem. We are slowly running out of bread, and with all of this Botania stuff being in place of where my old food system was, we need something new, and I want to do that in the form of tamales from Croptopia. Only problem is they take a lot of resources, so what I want to do is I want to create a giant contraption that has farms, crafting stuff, that'll get me unlimited tamales. Hopefully it will work. Hopefully it won't take that long to make, but it's probably gonna take a while to do. So let's get started with that. Before I start anything that's actually building related with Create, we need to go out and get the seeds for onions, corn to make these corn husks, chili pepper seeds, and we need to get wheat seeds, which I already have, to make flour. I think I've seen some corn kind of just hanging around here. The seeds kind of just spawn in randomly throughout your world, so you just have to go looking for them. Hopefully we'll come across them pretty quickly. Okay, so after looking it up, yeah, I can already see some corn right here. After looking it up, it looks like the chili peppers and corn grow here in the plains, and then the onions that I need grow in a jungle. So I'll have to go find one so I can hopefully get some seeds. Is this it? Yes, chili peppers! And I don't actually need more chili peppers. Oh, there's some right now. I don't actually need more because I can just instantly grow them with bone meal and get a bunch of seeds that way. So now, let's go and look for a jungle. Okay, jungle, show me onions. Onions! The last seed that I need is these wheat seeds, just can grab that from there, and that is perfect. So the next thing that I want to actually do is figure out where I want to put this thing. I think the area right here is probably going to work best. So I'll probably just clear out these trees real quick. And then we'll fill in the hole right here. Because in all honesty, I am not sure how big this thing is going to end up. I know it's going to be pretty big because it's going to have 4 farms plus a bunch of crafting areas, plus I need a cobblestone generator as part of this design. There's a lot going on. So maybe in this area we can like extend this thing. The great part about this game is I can honestly build whatever I want. And then if it looks bad, I can tear the whole thing down. My only thing with this whole thing is whatever the landscape ends up looking like, I just want it to look like semi-procedurally generated. Like I didn't make it, I want it to look natural. And that's something that I've always struggled with in building. So hopefully I can pull it off this time. Ooh, wait, I just had an idea. Okay, I might even, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna start bringing this whole area out, like, all the way back here. So it really, like, blends in. And then on top of pulling this whole area out a bunch, I'm probably going to build every layer, like, up and not just leave it hollow, because I do not want stuff spawning in underneath the platform. I've had that problem so many times in previous builds. When I built a factory in Not Hardcore Minecraft, it was completely hollow underneath, and it took me, like, I think 2 hours to fill it with torches, and this area is nowhere near as big as that, so I'd rather just fill it in with dirt and leave it at that. Yeah, okay, now that the top is filled in, you can kind of really see how much room there is up here now. And also, I'm gonna get rid of all this dirt right here because it's kind of unneeded. And then, boom, look at that. Even more room. We have a ton of space up here now to work with. Okay, and after kind of finishing that top layer, it does look like that I'm definitely going to need a lot more lush dirt, because these 4 stacks plus, I don't know, 17 is all that I have. I can use it to outline the next few layers, but that's pretty much it. Okay, there we go. The landscape has been pushed out. I actually kind of want to fill this in a little bit because it looks pretty ugly as is. Because I'm going to be doing that, I think I'm going to get rid of even more of the dirt that's over here. Because with all that gone, we'll have even more room to do all the stuff that I want over here. Every time I say that, I see something else where I'm like, let's get rid of that too. Now I'm going to get rid of all of this over here. For the windmills, because I didn't really want them to look that ugly, I did kind of make a little bit of a design. I don't know if I have all of the materials that I need automatically off the bat after looking that up. I do not, but yeah, I'm just gonna go out and get everything that I need. This isn't gonna be enough spruce, but I'll take it. Then I also need willow wood, which I know I can get from, or I think I can get from the biome that's just over here. Unless this is just the wrong place. Nope, this is willow. Okay, awesome. Let's just grab a bunch of that. I think 3 stacks will do. Just kidding, I'll do 4 just to be safe. And then I need to get some spruce, which is literally right next to my house. I know I'm going to need a lot more of this than the willow, so I'll probably grab a few stacks. Okay, and 8 stacks of this should be enough, so now we can go back and actually start to build this thing because I have most of the materials that I should need. I actually do want to see how much... Okay, not a lot of cobblestone. What about cobbled deep slate? How does that look paired with spruce? Honestly, pretty good. So we'll grab a bunch of that stuff too. Oh, wait, now that I look at my pictures, I think I'll be okay with dark oak. So far, in all honesty, I only actually have, like, the part connected to the actual windmill built. I haven't built the base yet, or designed it at all. But honestly, that doesn't matter that much, because I can just build the actual thing first, and then build a base under it that I think fits with the design. I think 4 blocks of room underneath, or 5 blocks of room underneath will be good. Then we build this up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks tall. Then we can start putting in the inside in here and build up the other side. So this is what the sides of this thing are going to look like. And then the willow goes in the corners like this, because the outside's kind of like a grayish brown that fits with everything else. To be honest, this is so much easier building it because I have the angel ring and can just fly around. Having to build this normally in survival where you can't really fly around is such a massive pain. I am so glad that I spent all that time doing Botania to get the angel ring. Okay, and now with the main pillar done, we can start to move on to the roof of this thing. Actually, break that block out because this is where the windmill is actually going to be propping out of. And the bearing will sit right in this block here. So to make the roof of this thing, we have a dark oak wood barrier, or stripped dark oak barrier. And then to round out that barrier, we use stairs and slabs, like this. And then on the inside, we use these special spruce planks. Okay, now we have to move on to the base. So what if we make a border around it like this? Fill that in with deep slate, maybe? Let's grab some and see how it looks. And then I also want to grab some stone and make some stone bricks like this as kind of a floor inside. And then hopefully it'll look good, or decent at least. What if I also take some stairs like that, kind of round out the edges a little bit? I don't usually build on the fly like this, so I'm kind of just thinking out loud here. And then the deep slate would go in here. And then can't forget the floor in here, because I'm going to have windows and maybe I'll put a door just so I can, like, kind of access the windmill just in case I need anything inside. Okay, and honestly, if I add some texturing to these faces, like, I'll definitely be adding windows. Like, I'll just punch out those holes now. But it does not look that bad. Maybe I add something in the middle here to separate it, like willow wood, like that. Ooh, wait a minute. I have an idea now. I'll keep the wall like this, have the windows there. The willow wood will come down the center like that. And then obviously I can't really do that on the front because there's going to be a door right here. So maybe I do that and put a stair right there instead, so I can have a door going in. Then we can still have the windows on either side. Yes, things are shaping up. Let's go grab all that other stuff that I need to finish that off. Isn't Macaw's windows a thing? Oh my god, it is. Okay, we might actually be able to make some really nice looking windows. How do I make this? Stone grill window. We need these wooden grill bases, which needs a window base. Let's make some of this. Yeah, this could be cool. Now, my question is, if I stack two of these on top of each other, they turn into one window. Okay, that's perfect. That is exactly what I needed to see, and you can open them. It's so cool. So first of all, we got to put this door in place like that. And then, let me see something. If I do that, and then add these like that. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Because then on the inside, it's all the same. So then we can put these windows in. And boom, let's go. Now, the last thing that I need to figure out is how I want this to actually connect up. Because I could absolutely just do this and have all of this deep slate go around here. But that honestly doesn't look too great. Would raising all of these borders up one solve that problem? Let's try it out on the front. It kind of fixes it. Because then we can have our whole, like, roof in here out of whatever. Ooh, maybe the stone bricks. I'm having an idea to hide things and have it look good. So the deep slate, we can bring it all the way around. And then, since we have all of these blocks inside covering it up, here's what we do. We fill all this in with this stone brick, like that. And we cover all these up with half slabs, or just the middle ones, because on the corners, we'll put willow logs. And then this is where a wrench kind of gets put in my plan, because I was kind of hoping that some mod would make it so I could put lanterns on these. So, instead, we might just put lanterns on those, like that, and call it a day. Because if we go outside, it's lit up in there. That's perfect. If we go up top, it's all uniform. I honestly think I can sacrifice that looking like that just for the purpose of having a continuous roof inside. Yeah, that looks so much better. And I think I'm going to replace this floor with, like, cobblestone or something like that, just so it doesn't match the ceiling. Yeah, that looks so much better. Now we move on to the last step, which is making the windmill itself. To do that, we are going to need a windmill bearing, which actually, that's insanely easy to make. I already have everything to make it already, okay. Okay, and besides the windmill bearing, this is everything that I need to make this actual windmill thing. Hopefully it looks good when I'm done with it. The best part about these is all the sides are exactly the same, so I can just build one up and then copy it over. Just from this one wing of the windmill, you can kind of see how big it's going to be. And I messed up the placement, so we have to rebuild this entire thing. There we go, that's the right spot, okay. Okay, and with the whole sail built, this is the entire windmill. I'm actually, honestly, insanely happy with how it turned out. But the last thing we have to do is actually glue everything together to make sure when I click that windmill bearing, it all stays together. So I'm pretty sure I can just click like that, and then click that to connect it all into one piece. Yes, I love the Create mod so much. It's so cool. You can do so much with it. So the footage that was supposed to go here was pretty laggy and pretty much unusable. Luckily, the only two things that I did was decide how big I wanted my farms to be, 15 by 15 circles, and decided where to place them. The rest of this is fine, so let's just continue on from there. Okay, and I did the same exact thing as I did with that circle, just kind of put it in a random place with this circle, and honestly, I think that the layout for the farms, especially on the map right here, look super cool. Now we can actually just start filling them in with the normal dirt, because unfortunately, you cannot plant stuff on lush grass. I genuinely don't even know if I have enough dirt to fill in all this area. I might have to go get more. No way I have enough to fill up this whole thing. No way. No, I was a single dirt short. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. Oh well, not that big of a deal. We can just go boop and take that. Finish up our crop circles. So after placing in the dirt, I went ahead and made sure that all of the water would properly fill the farmland and turned it all into farmland so it would be able to actually plant crops on it. But now comes the probably most important part of this whole thing, which is putting in all of these mechanical harvesters, which are going to be the things that actually harvest the crops. So in order for all of this stuff to actually work, I have to have these portable storage interfaces hooked up, because these are going to be what actually send the crops into the system, whatever. Every time it does one rotation, these link together and extract anything that's been collected on one rotation cycle. I'm putting them facing away from the center only because as I'm walking by, I don't really want to have to look at them. And underneath these, they'll just be hoppers that pull everything out and put it into a system. So the next step is putting down all these linear chassis with a chest on top, and then, or actually, hold on. I want these to go all the way out to there, because I know for a fact that if these mechanical harvesters are only into this one, it won't pick up the stuff that's on the very corner here. For now, we have to super glue all this stuff together to make sure that the portable storage interface and the chest actually stick to the linear chassis as they rotate. Now we just have to make 3 more of them. Now comes the, not as fun part. Hooking everything up underground using these shafts. I'm honestly probably going to have to make a lot more of them. And also, I need a lot of torches to light up where the paths are going to be underground. It's a very good thing that these are easy to make. I'm also going to need some gearboxes, and it honestly looks like I have enough just from previous stuff that I've done. So the first thing we've got to do is actually hook up the windmill with shafts. Luckily, as you can see, that is not something that's hard to do at all. And to cover up this hole, I'm pretty sure if I click it with andesite casing, yes, okay, perfect. Now actually, if we go in here now and click the windmill on, you can see that this whole thing turns. And it turns down here too, which is so cool. I love Create. It's my favorite mod. I love it so much. But we're going to keep it off for now, because I don't want to mess anything up. And then I think we'll go down a couple more like this, and then actually start digging out. I want this whole thing to be like a 3x3 area, just so there's like room to place the stuff and to walk around as well. I think the way I'm going to do this is I'll have this gearbox going straight through the middle of this whole thing. We got to close this up with andesite casing. And then as it branches off, or like as I hit these different markers, I'll branch off in that direction and hook it up. So the first one actually should be directly down this way. And then if I dig up right here, yeah, okay, perfect. Immediately hit it dead on. Then what we'll do from here is we'll have a gearbox pointing like this, have this gear come this way, then put a vertical one down, and we can hook that up just like that. That is perfect. Oh my god, okay. This is amazing. In theory, if I turn the windmill on right now and then go over to the gearbox underground here and click it like that, it should be turning the wrong direction. Something blocking it? Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my god. Okay, this is amazing. And then that was just proof of concept, so I'll stop that there for now. Put this back and till it, and then we'll move on to doing the other 3. So then if we dig up right there, yep, there's 2, 3, and 4. So in theory, if I go through this whole place and hit all of these now, when I go up to the surface, hopefully all of them should... All of them are doing farm things! Let's go! God, this is so cool. I love this so much. But as cool as it is, I gotta turn everything off for now. Now comes the nowhere near as fun task of planting all of the corn, wheat, chilies, and onions. Okay, now that these 4 farms are completed and everything has pretty much grown all the way, you can see over here I outlined the area that I'm gonna need to like flatten out in order to make the rest of this whole thing. If I counted correctly, this is a 27 by 31 block area. So I'm going to flatten that out real quick, fill in any holes in the ground that I need to, and then we will be able to start collecting all the resources to make this gigantic project. Okay, and now we have this whole area kind of cleared out of everything that I need there to be. You can also see that I kind of rounded the edges a little bit around here and also over there because there were just some straight edges that did not look good. But with that, we are finally able to move on to the actual part of this, which is gathering the resources. So I guess that's not the actual part of it quite yet. But I made a list of the main things that I'm going to need because there's some components that are a little harder to get than others. And those are going to be the 11 brass tunnels, 2 crushed wheels, 8 brass funnels, 8 andesite funnels, 2 mechanical pumps, 16 fluid tanks, 15 encased fans, 3 mechanical drills, and 9 mechanical arms. And as you can see in here, I also got some other stuff I'm going to need, like andesite casing, cogs, shafts, lava, water, chests, you name it. There's a lot of stuff I need. I think the way that I want to go about this is I'm going to start at the end, which means we're going to need a bunch of these belts, shafts, and then these tunnels, and then you'll kind of see where I'm going from there. I'm also going to need these mechanical crafters and a lot of arms. Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to make. Let's make that real quick. And that would be a bunch of depots, because these are what items will actually land on after the mechanical arms move them around. So the first thing we'll want to start with is the end chest where all of the tamales are going to end up. And I think I'll put that right here because next to it, we're actually going to want to get these display boards and set them up in a little pattern like this, because what's going to happen here is it's going to display how many tamales total this machine has made. And that is calculated by using a display link. Let's decorate this a little bit just so it looks good. And boom, a little display board. So on the back of this chest, we're going to have a brass funnel, which is going to lead onto a belt like this. That belt is going to have a brass tunnel on top of it, which will have the display link on top of that. So now as items go through this, which will only be tamales, it's going to display how many go through it on this board. I haven't set that up yet because you need some like name tags and stuff, and I'll do that at the very end because that's super easy to do. And now we get to start building the first real part of this contraption, which is the system that'll craft all of the stuff together, turning them into tamales. For these different parts of the builds, because I feel like it would just be kind of boring watching me place blocks down for an hour, what I'll probably do is I'll be like, okay, now we move into this part, and I'll show that it's built and explain what it does, show all the different pieces, just so you're not sitting and waiting for me to place a bunch of blocks down. Once again, the footage in the next part is kind of laggy. I'm really not sure why it's happening. I haven't changed any settings on my recording software. It's just really frustrating to deal with. You can hear what I'm saying and explaining how things work, but other than that, the video's not great. So if you do bear through it, I really, really do appreciate that. Okay, and here is the first part of the machine. Pretty much what you can see here is that we have these brass tunnels, and every time this specific item goes through it, it'll push it out onto that conveyor, which will then be put into this chest, and these chests can store a ton of those materials. Then it'll push out one at a time onto these depots, which will be picked up by these mechanical arms, put into the crafter. Then once it's all crafted together, it'll push the tamales out and this cooking pot, because the cooking pot doesn't actually get used by the recipe. And as you can see here, this brass tunnel has the cooking pot filter there, so it'll bring that all the way back around and then reuse it for the crafting recipe. So for the next part of this machine, it's going to take up the rest of the 3/4 of this area. There is other parts that I haven't actually designed yet, but this next part was honestly kind of crucial in the design because it's a lot of materials just to make salt. Right there, you see that in between my horns on my head. Salt takes so much to craft if you want to do it endlessly with the create mod. And honestly, I think the design I came up with works really well. When I tested it, it gave me 1,000 salt in the course of like 15 minutes. And that was without it even like turning it into tamales. So let's jump right into building that. Okay, so this is what I have done now, and I kind of figured that I would stop at each individual part, because this might be one contraption for making one specific ingredient, but there's multiple parts to it, and the first part is this whole thing with these crushing wheels. This cobblestone generator will put the cobblestone into these crushing wheels here, which will turn it into gravel. The gravel will go back up, go back through again, turn it into sand, and then we'll move on to the next part when we get there. This cobblestone generator, when I first designed it, was 8 blocks long, like it can make 8 cobblestone at a time, but it made so much sand that this was getting clogged up and only processing the cobblestone and not the gravel too. And that was kind of a problem. So now let's move on to the next section. Okay, and then with this next part, after the sand goes out of that brass tunnel down these conveyors, there's going to be a bunch of lava in front of these fans, and what that does is when the fan pushes the, I guess I'll call it lava air, onto the conveyor with the sand, it acts as a furnace. So it's pretty much a fuelless furnace that also looks significantly cooler, so then it'll get turned into glass before it hits this funnel, which will put it in the chest and then deposit them one at a time onto the depot, and then the mechanical arm will pick up the glass and put it there, there, and there. And here is the last part of the salt production process. Over here we have a giant fluid tank that's going to take in water from here, and since that's an infinite pool of water down there, it'll just keep refilling and filling that up, which is perfect because I didn't want to have to connect it all the way up to the thing that's way over there. But then, from there, it'll take the water out of the tank and pump it into a bottle, not a bottle, a bucket that will be sitting there. The bucket will then be put in here. It'll craft the special bottles and then push those out along with the bucket that doesn't get used. Bucket will be filtered back around and can be used endlessly. Right here, just like over there with the sand to glass, we have this which will have lava, which will turn the special water bottles into the sand, or nope, the salt that we need, and then that'll be filtered out and put into here and then put into the crafting system there. It's so funny to me that this crafts the actual tamales, the other 3/4 of it is dedicated to making salt. The good thing about that is this is everything that I actually designed in creative mode. Now I can get rid of all of this stuff because there's 2 or 3 more things that I need to do. I need to make a contraption that'll get me unlimited chicken, which is pretty easy to do. You can actually do that in vanilla. But then I also need to do stuff to get me corn husks and flour. That's what the corn and wheat is over there for. The wheat is for the flour. The corn will get me corn husks. Those are both insanely easy to do. What I'll probably have happen is the chili peppers and the onions are going to come on a single conveyor that'll get put like right here maybe, and then that'll sort out. And then the other 2 will go onto their own separate conveyors that'll put them into special crafting things just so that those can make them special materials, and then from there it'll put them on the conveyor there and sort it out. When it comes to the chicken though, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do quite yet. Before I go on to making those smaller parts of the contraption and then finishing everything up, what I need to do is I need to connect every single thing here underground using these shafts, cogs, and gearboxes into one central shaft that all I need to do is turn one and everything will function. I did it in creative mode and it took a really long time to do, so we're gonna kind of just have to figure it out. Luckily, the good thing is these ones right here, all of these different cogs, don't actually require testing because no matter what way these drills turn, it mines the cobblestone. And also, the reason there's all these cog wheels here is because I needed to like make it a specific speed, and all of these gear ratios make it so that super fast windmill over there will end up outputting a really slow rotation on this cogwheel over here. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I was in robotics for a single here and we talked about gear reductions, but you know, it's still insanely confusing to me. Okay, so now we have this gigantic dugout underground area that if we kind of dig up through any of these, or I could just go up here, you can see it fills out the entire space underneath this contraption. And that is a good thing because now, let's say I take one of these gearboxes, make it vertical, then put it right here. I can dig out here, go underground, then go to where I dug out and bring the shafts under here so I can connect everything up in one area and then have it all connect to a single shaft. Because I know how horribly painful and boring this process is, and I don't want to make you all watch it, I might just do a cool transition where I zoom in on my face, and then when I zoom out again, you'll see now we have all of the cogs and all of the shafts and gearboxes connected up. So as you can see, there is a lot going on under here, and it took me a pretty long time to figure everything out. And if we go up top, you can see that now all of the conveyors are functioning, the fans are going, the mechanical crafters are going, the pumps are going, everything is going, except for the cobblestone generator, because if I let that go, it's going to start making all the salt right now, and I don't want that yet, not till I finish everything else. When I was doing that, though, I did realize there was two little parts that I kind of forgot, so I just built them right here. One of them takes the wheat and turns it into flour, and the other one takes the corn and turns it into corn husks, then puts it right back on the conveyor to go down and turn it into the tamales. If we also look down here, I also went ahead and connected up all of the farms. So right here, you can see, like if I go on the map right here, this is the exit point for that farm. So that'll drop onto this conveyor and go down here. And I also did the ones down here, and because they're super far away, I did some gear ratio stuff, which was a pain, and made these ones go significantly faster just to bring the stuff over quicker. With all that done, there's really only one thing left that I need to do, which is the raw chicken farm. Actually, that's a lie. That's not the only thing that I have left to do. Right here, I have to make a garbage can type thing, like with lava, and I have to do the same thing right here, because over here, it's going to put some, I think, flint and clay is the output from making gravel go through here, and then over here, it'll deposit all of the seeds and anything that manages its way to make it through here that I don't need in the actual crafting recipe. So there's one trash and two trashes. Okay, now that those are done, we can finally move on to the chicken farm, which I'm going to build in this little area right here, because I honestly think that's the best way to make it sure that everything goes straight onto the conveyor. And it's a really tiny farm. I'm pretty sure it'll only take up like a 3x3 area right here, and then I can just have a conveyor coming out of that to bring everything to here. So if I do this correctly, I just have to build it in this little area right here. It's not going to take up a lot of room. The only thing is it uses vanilla methods because it's a vanilla farm. So that might not fit with the rest of the contraption, but I don't really mind as long as it gets me the chicken that I need. The way this farm works is it utilizes baby chickens being shorter than a block, so they'll be right here. Once the eggs get thrown onto there, then there'll be water half a block above it, and the water will drown that sounds horrible. Drown the chickens as they grow up, and then once they drown, their remains, I guess, will be collected by this hopper and then pushed out onto the system. Okay, and here's the finished design. It's pretty small, honestly. There's not really much to it. I just have to place the rail right here, put the hopper minecart on top of that, and then break the rail out from underneath it, and boom. And then we can finally throw all of these eggs into here and hope that at least one of them hatches, or at least two of them hatch. Oh, wow! One of them hatched. That's awesome. That means I have to go find more chicken eggs. Or, actually, I can just go and pick some up with my quantum catchers. The farm recommended using 20 chickens, which is a lot, but I understand why, because that's super productive. So now we just need 18 more. And with that, there is the 20 chickens that I want in there. Yes, I did go and make 8 more quantum catchers just so I wouldn't have to keep making trips back and forth. But now with that, we kind of just have to wait a little bit. Actually, no, we have to hook this up first, then we have to wait. With this being all hooked up now, that means that this whole farm is 100%, at least I think 100%, ready to go. Now all we need to do is turn these on, fix that up, or like actually turn that on too, which I can actually start doing to make sure that works first. So we can put that there, and then that'll start breaking the cobblestone. Oh, this is so cool. I love the create mod so much. It's amazing. So the cobblestone makes it up here, starts to get pushed through the crusher wheels, and comes out as gravel. Let's go. Gravel goes back through as the cobblestone comes in next. Oh, I love this so much. Gravel gets turned into sand and the flint. Sand goes through there, flint gets thrown away. Sand slowly makes its way through there and turns into glass eventually, I hope. Yep, there it goes. Okay, and we got an achievement for it. Then the glass goes into there, the mechanical arm picks it up and puts it in the mechanical crafters. Let's go. I also need to put a water bucket down here so that the bucket can start making its way through the system as well. And all we need to do is wait for that piece of glass, and then we can see if this actually works. Yes, oh my god, it's making it. So now those water bottles will go through, and there's going to be a bucket. The bucket's going to go on this side, get put back through while those smelt. Oh my god, I love this so much. Please work. Please. What happened? Oh, I know. I think I know. Okay. Kind of easy fix. I think the lava's too hot, and it's actually burning the stuff instead of properly cooking it. So in its place, I will put campfires, because I know that campfires will work. Or at least I'm hoping that campfires will work. Oh, yes! Oh my god, I made salt! And then the salt goes in here. And then it'll push one out. Oh my god, and the salt will get put into the crafter. Oh, this is so cool. I love this so much. There's a lot of smoke coming off of this, so I'm going to build up a little thing above it right here like this, just so that we don't have to deal with all that. Okay, cool. Let's go turn on these farms. There's one. Oh, that noise means it's working. There's 2, 3, and 4. So now, if we go back to the surface, ooh, that means that something's working properly, and go over here. There's so much stuff. Oh, why is corn going through? Oh god, what's happening? Some stuff's gonna be properly sorted, like the, no, give me that. Wow, okay, that's bad. Stop throwing away all my materials, please. Why is it not going through? Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, I don't need these here. All I need is corn there, and then wheat there, and then they should go through properly. Oh no, come back. I don't want that to be thrown away. Oh god, I messed that one up pretty bad. Okay, a lot of stuff got thrown away. That's fine. If we come over here and we can look, haha, things are in the proper places. That's all that I care about, honestly. Let me test. If I throw a bunch of corn on there and it goes into there, it's turning it into corn husks. Ooh, and the corn as well. But that much corn isn't going to go out at once anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's say I throw a piece down. Oh, shoot. What if I put the output filter as corn husk and then throw that in there? Okay, perfect. Yep, that worked. Okay, nice. Because the chicken is probably going to take a while to, like, actually start up, I'm going to throw this 22 raw chicken into the system. And also, I think I'm going to bone meal some wheat just so that that can get another head start, because everything got a head start. All of the wheat got thrown into the fire lava over there, which really sucks. So I want to give it a little bit of a chance. Okay, I haven't seen any wheat yet. That's a little concerning. Oh, yeah, that'll explain it. I never hooked up the wheat. I never hooked up the wheat to the system. Okay, and with this funnel being put on, there we go. My god, I was so scared that I did something wrong there. But now, if we race our way up to the surface, we might actually be able to see this thing in action, make our first few tamales, which is exactly what I've been waiting for. So it goes through there, the flour starts to come out. Ha ha ha, this is so cool. The first bit of flour is getting put in. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Tamales, infinite amount of them too. 2 produced, let's go. I am so happy right now. This took so much work. I'm literally, this recording right now, this video goes out tomorrow.
I'm still working on it. It is currently Friday. This is taking a really long time, but I am super happy with the product. I think for now, I'm just going to let it run a little bit, have the chickens really start producing the large amounts that I need, and then we'll be back in a little bit. I think I'll come back once it's made maybe a stack of tamales, and then we'll end the episode there. Okay, and I may have waited a little long, but look at that, 76 tamales. We finally made them, and now we can eat the first one together. Oh my god, this is so amazing. Look at my saturation, just shot all the way up to the top. That is so incredible. But just like I said before this, with all this now done, I am going to end the episode here. I had, honestly, a really fun time designing and building this. I've never made something this big and create before, and I'm honestly super happy with how it turned out, especially the windmill and farm area. I think it looks really cool, and now with all the paths in here as well, especially on the map, it just, everything, it's connected, and I love it so much. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, as it really does help out, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!